All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're hitting the road. Well, kind of. We're going to be checking out this whole minivan camper conversion thing.
Minivan camper conversions.
Yeah, it's a thing, apparently. We're going to be looking at this website and blog, OdysseyCamper.com, run by a guy named Darren.
Okay, I'm intrigued. A minivan as an RV? I'm not sure I'm picturing it.
Right. When I first heard about it, I was like, huh, a minivan. But you know me, I love digging into these unique approaches to travel, and this one's goldmine.
Okay, so what makes this Odyssey camper so special?
Well, first off, it's all about DIY. Darren's not about those fancy pre-made camper vans that cost a fortune. He's showing people how to create their own mobile homes on their own terms. And guess what? On a budget that's actually doable.
I like the sound of that. DIY and affordable. That opens up possibilities for a lot more folks.
Exactly. And it's not just about the build either. He dives into the whole lifestyle, the how-tos, the finances, everything you need to actually live on the road, not just travel.
Okay, so he's not just building a van, he's building a lifestyle.
Totally. Now, you're probably wondering, why a minivan? Why not a full-size RV or something?
Yeah, I am a little curious about that.
Well, Darren lists 5 reasons on his site, and one that's super relatable is cost. Minivans, they're just way more affordable. And they don't depreciate as quickly as a big RV.
Yeah, that makes sense. RVs can be a huge investment up front.
Right, and then there's parking. Imagine trying to navigate a giant RV through a city or trying to find a spot at a crowded trailhead. Nightmare. With a minivan, you have so much more flexibility. You can basically go anywhere a regular car can.
That's a huge plus. I hate trying to park those giant things.
And that actually ties into another key part of Darren's philosophy of stealth camping. He talks about how a minivan allows you to blend in, camp more discreetly.
Makes sense. You're not sticking out like a sore thumb in a massive RV.
Exactly. And it opens up possibilities for finding those unique, off-the-grid spots. He's not a big fan of those expensive, crowded RV parks.
Sounds like he prefers to find those hidden gems as free camping spots.
You got it. It's all about that sense of freedom and self-sufficiency, which seems to be the core of his whole approach. In his blog post, Why I Chose a Minivan, he's got this quote, "My opinion of later is jaded."
Ah.
Basically, he's saying stop waiting for the perfect time to live your dreams. Just do it now.
I love that. So many people put their dreams off until later.
Right. And I think that message really resonates with people who are at a turning point in their lives, maybe empty nesters or approaching retirement. He's showing them that there's a different path.
That's pretty inspiring, a path to break free and create a life of adventure.
Exactly.
It really is. And he doesn't just talk about ditching the 9 to 5. He gives you actual ways to make it work financially. He's got this whole section on his website about jobs for RVers.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, practical advice, on finding remote work, seasonal gigs, even starting your own online business.
He even shares his own experience working on the road, doesn't he?
He does. Talks about the good and the bad, which I think makes his content so relatable. He's not just up there preaching. He's actually doing it, figuring it out as he goes.
Exactly. It's authentic. Speaking of figuring it out, can we talk about the actual van conversion process for a second?
Oh, for sure.
Some of the stuff he comes up with is just genius. Like converting a passenger seat to face backwards. Who thinks of that?
I know, right?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Makes the space so much more livable.
And he's got a whole video on his YouTube channel showing you exactly how to do it.
You know what's even better? He doesn't use any fancy tools or anything. It's all stuff you can find easily. Makes it seem so much more doable,
Totally demystifies the whole process.
No need to be a master builder or anything.
I remember that trick with the timer switch to boost your battery.
Oh, yeah, for like when you're boondocking?
Exactly. Super clever, and it can save you some cash. All right, so we've covered the why, the how-tos. But let's talk about the actual lifestyle, the day-to-day of van life. It can't be all sunshine and roses, right?
Well, he's definitely honest about the downsides.
Yeah, it talks about breakdowns, finding water, dealing with waste, even gets into like the mental and emotional side of things.
Oh, really? Like what?
Stuff like loneliness, the importance of having a good support network. It's not all glamorous Instagram shots.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. Important to have realistic expectations going in. I mean, those things are all part of the adventure too, right?
For sure. And he offers ways to handle those challenges. It's all about being prepared.
Right. He also talks about practical stuff like healthcare on the road, staying on top of bills, things people might not think about right away.
Exactly. All the little details. He's really thought of everything.
He's like, look, it's not always easy, but if you're willing to put in the work, you can do it.
Exactly. A more real, less Instagram perfect version of van life, which I think a lot of people crave. One thing that really stuck with me is how much he emphasizes community.
Oh, yeah. He's really building something. It's not just a website.
It's a place for people to connect, share their stories, help each other out. So important, especially when you're doing something that's a little outside the norm, you know?
He's super active online, responding to comments, answering questions,
Really creating that sense of belonging.
which can be huge when you're on the road,
Mm-hmm.
away from everything you know. It's not even just about van life. It's bigger than that. It's like finding your people, finding your tribe.
But that's a good way to put it.
It's inspiring. It's like he's reminding people that there are different ways to live,
Yeah.
and they can create a life that's true to themselves. So for someone listening, thinking this sounds amazing, but feeling a little lost on where to even begin, what would you say?
Start by just exploring the world of van life. Check out Darren's website, watch his videos, get a feel for what it's all about.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out to him or other van lifers. Ask questions. Learn from their experiences.
And you don't have to dive in head first. You know, maybe rent a camper van for a weekend just to get a taste.
Dip your toes in.
Baby steps. And above all, have fun. It's about adventure. It's about joy.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It really is. So anyone listening who's ready to actually start planning their own Odyssey camper adventure, where do they go?
Well, his website is a great place to start. It's OdysseyCamper.com. Super easy to remember.
Straightforward.
Yeah, you'll find his blog there, all the posts we talked about, plus pictures of his van build, even gear recommendations,
Yeah.
you know, the stuff he actually uses.
And don't forget the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's where you can really see the whole process come to life, all those step-by-step tutorials.
He's got van tours, too, even videos of his trips.
It's like riding along with him.
You get a real sense of, who he is and what he's all about.
Totally. Oh, and for the Instagram lovers out there, gotta mention his Instagram. Beautiful photos, those classic, scenic landscapes and van life moments.
What I really like about all of his stuff online is that it feels authentic. Like, he's not trying to sell you some fantasy, just sharing his knowledge and experience.
Yeah, it's super genuine. And he's really engaged with his followers, responding to comments.
Totally, building that community aspect.
Makes it feel so much more personal. Exploring all this, it just makes you realize, sometimes the most unexpected things, like a minivan, can lead to the most incredible adventures.
It's about thinking outside the box, challenging those traditional ideas of travel.
And it just goes to show sometimes downsizing and simplifying can open up a whole world of possibilities. It's about creating the life you want on your own terms. So if you're feeling that travel bug, that itch to explore, maybe a minivan conversion is the answer.
Yeah, and even if van life isn't your thing, Darren's story is just a reminder that it's never too late to follow your passions.
So yeah, check out OdysseyCamper.com or his YouTube channel, OdysseyCamper.
Get inspired.
Get some tips, start planning your own adventure. And let us know what you think of Darren's approach. Tell us what your dream road trip looks like.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.